So now what I'd like to do is go one step beyond cash for clunkers and show you in detail how national vesting works. Just a reminder, this is quantitative easing. And again, in quantitative easing, the U.S. Treasury issues debt. The debt is purchased by the Federal Reserve, and the Federal Reserve is thereby providing funding to the U.S. Treasury. This does not create a burden on any open market. Now, in effect, the Federal Reserve can retire that debt. It can resell it on the open market if it needs to, but in general, there's nothing preventing the Federal Reserve from holding that debt until it's retired. So we're going to take another slight step from quantitative easing into national vesting. Just a reminder, national vesting is the program that ABOC intends to use to create an economy that works for everyone, and it's based on quantitative easing. So if you think back about how the Cash for Clunkers program worked, this is going to be pretty easy. Now, it might seem complicated, but that's only because you haven't been told how the U.S. economy works. So this is national vesting. We're going to start up here with private business. Under national vesting, private business doesn't change at all, not even a little. Private businesses continue to work the way they do now. They hire employees, they create product, they provide service, they collect money. So commerce is pursued normally. I'm showing labor down here, and I put quotes around it because labor really includes every citizen of the United States. Now, for details on that, you can check out the book, American Buyout. Even people who don't work are going to benefit from national vesting. And again, we'll leave the details about that for later. But in general, it works like this. Private business hires people to do work, so they receive the benefit of that work, and these people get a salary. Nothing changes. The salary can be anything. It's open market wages. Employees are free to negotiate for whatever wage they can get. Now here's where things get a little different. In the book American Buyout, I define a thing called market surplus. We're going to leave the details of that to later because it gets a little complicated, not because it's a difficult concept, but because it's new. And most people don't think this way yet, but they should. The problem we're addressing is that our economy produces too much stuff. So in effect, what we're going to do is the excess production is going to be sold to ABOC. Now think of ABOC as a placeholder. We'll put in a more formal mechanism. It might just be directly to the Fed. There might be another agency in here. But think of it for now as ABOC. ABOC is the American Buyout Consortium. Just a reminder, we need your help, and we want you to be part of this consortium. We want every American to be part of ABOC. So again, labor sells its market surplus to ABOC. And in doing so, labor in effect gets a second paycheck. So this is where the livable wage comes from. We're not going to go to the business sector and ask them to pay higher wages. They won't be competitive. Instead, what we're going to do is pay everyone in labor additional money, additional salary, and benefits like universal health and all the other benefits we discussed that's going to be paid out of the market surplus. Well, how does that work? It's going to work exactly the same as quantitative easing. ABOC will sell the market surplus to the Fed, and in exchange, ABOC will get cash. Some of the cash will go to labor and provide a livable wage, in effect, a second salary. Some of the money will go to spending. This will be the universal health care, universal education, debt retirement, and other programs that the U.S. government is free to pursue the way it does today. So in effect, the U.S. government really isn't going to change much at all, except it will be fully funded, and it will be able to provide far greater benefits than it does today. So again, it's 6 steps. I'm going to walk through them very quickly. Private business is conducted as normal, where they hire laborers who produce goods and services and are paid a wage. Step 3, so that's step 1 and 2. You can label them either way you want. Step 2, the market surplus of labor is sold to ABOC. We'll explain market surplus in detail later. ABOC pays labor an additional salary, additional wage. So now labor, everyone in labor is now earning a livable wage. ABOC then converts the market surplus to cash at the Fed and uses the cash both to pay people who are part of the labor pool an additional salary, as well as to fund all the programs that the US government currently funds. It's actually pretty simple, and it's proven. It's based on quantitative easing, and it's effective, and we know how to manage this. So in summary, we really want you to join our consortium and help make this a reality, because this is what will lead to an economy that works for everyone. Thank you.